Hey everyone, my name is Thom Singer, and I'm a professional speaker who focuses on human interaction in this AI focused world. I call it HI in an AI focused world. And recently I was at a conference and I met another speaker. He's really good on stage, he's really engaging, and he talks about the same topic. Please welcome Jason LeVasseur. Jason, thanks for
Hello.
doing this video.
Wow. It's good to be here. It's fun to bring Nashville and Austin together.
It's the music capitals of the world.
That's right. We're about to rock for everybody. Yeah, I loved chatting with you over the at the conference about your thoughts on human connection and the importance of that, and how you have this incredible ability to help people meet each other and get to know each other better and make the whole experience better for all the attendees at a conference. It's
Well, every conference that we
yeah,
attend now
yeah.
is every single session, every single keynote, everything is about AI and technology. And
Mhm.
I think that the world is about to go through a transformation like it's never seen before. I mean, you can look back to the days of the introduction of the printing press, that changed everything.
Mhm.
Or the Industrial Revolution and the introduction of the assembly line, that changed everything. The widespread proliferation of television and then of automobiles, those two
Yeah,
things changed everything.
yeah.
And then we had the internet and smartphones. But I think what we're about to go through the next few years is going to outdo all of those in how it transforms our society as AI really starts to get going. But the thing we have to remember is that no matter how good the technology is, AI cannot replace a human relationship, right?
I agree. I agree. I think AI is phenomenal in all the possibilities that it does bring. But we are animals who are pack animals, and we like to be together, and we benefit physiologically and emotionally and psychologically from this kind of interaction, just face to face interaction. And there's so much of the technology is removing this from our day, because it's amazing what the technology can do. And I think you and I have both found the same thing, that folks sometimes are struggling in just even how to start a conversation, or how to walk up to a group of people in a social setting and introduce themselves, um, not realizing that interaction is good for them and good for the folks they're talking to.
Well, because of the pandemic, we took almost 3 years
Yep,
out of
yep,
people being engaged in
yep,
business climate, in the office,
yep.
in at conferences. And then you add on top of that the amount of people who entered the workforce during that 3 years or were just barely in it before the pandemic hit. And those people haven't had the chance to sort of learn their social chops when it comes to going to industry associations and participating in conferences. And so the pushback is, well, we don't need the human connection. We just need good content.
Right.
Or why go to conferences at all? And from somebody who I work for an association, I speak for associations, that's a scary thing because we exist in the world of trade associations
Mm.
to bring people together and build community. So I think now is the time when associations have to double down on the fact that community is the antidote for
Mhm.
loneliness. And recently, the Surgeon General of the United States, Dr. Vivek Murthy, has doubled down on something that he said several years ago, and that is that there is an epidemic of loneliness happening in our country. And I believe this is where associations come together
Sure.
because, or come into play because we're bringing people together all the time.
Yeah, that's great. That is great. That was a really sort of compelling study, right? That this would you say the pandemic of loneliness? It's just interesting that the studies that have been done on social interaction since the mid 2000s show that generally we as humans have this fear that someone we're approaching in a conversation doesn't want to have a conversation, when actually the opposite is true. And the outcome of those interactions have been that both parties have had a better experience. And there have been studies on subways, and there have been studies in taxis, and there have been studies in hotel lobbies. And we get to see it firsthand at conferences, where we encourage and we facilitate and we get folks to engage with each other. And then it's just a visual. You see them smiling, right? When you say to an audience, like, let's do this thing that we have planned, you don't really get a smile in that moment. There's more reluctance. But the minute that they get up, and they engage with another human, the body language totally changes, and there's smiles on their faces, and then you see those folks like have lunch together and go into breakout sessions. They're talking to each other. One of the phrases that I learned in just working with summer camps and schools and even associations, that connection before content. Like, that's something that I live by in every workshop that I facilitate, every keynote that I give, is and I've built that into everything, connection before content. And it's just something, when I'm planning something, I put it in there because I see the benefits of the connection. And here's what I think after the conference, um, just as important or more important, I'm of the belief that this is more important, is the networking, is the human connections, is the business connections, the personal connections. Most of the content that we'll hear from the stage or from breakout session will hopefully be written down in notes, but won't be memorized, right? But the memories will be of who they met, the conversations they had, the way they felt, and that's what I think is one of the most important things that is often overlooked when planning a conference.
Well, you bring up an interesting thing too, and that is people are a little bit reluctant, especially if they're a little bit more on the introverted side,
Yeah.
to want to start a conversation or to go to that happy hour where they don't know anybody. But once they've engaged and they've met people, all the studies show that if they feel real connected while at the event, they're more likely to come back next year and the following year and the following year. So this is one of the reasons why I think it's so important for meeting planners to really embrace this whole idea of engagement at the conference, because it makes it easier to sell the tickets for next year. And on top of that, the other interesting part is that we learned during the pandemic there are a lot of ways that we can share information.
Mhm.
We can do it digitally. There's online courses. There's videos like the ones we're doing right now. There's all kinds of ways that we can, get the information to people. However, the one thing we can't do is we can't replace that feeling that two people have when they share an experience. And what I've been teaching audiences for years is we build our friendships through shared experiences. And a conference, if done correctly, is a shared experience. And that's one of the things that gets me really excited is when I speak to an audience, and I'm usually the opening keynote speaker, and I talk about all the important things, around this connection piece, but I give them actionable tools. And then people come up to me later that day and they're like, I've run out of business cards. I've met more people than I've ever met at a conference before. I know that that conference is going to have a really good repeat attendance level for the following year.
Absolutely. And how does that make you feel, Thom, at the end of the day?
Yeah, I mean it's great to be the catalyst that really causes that
Yeah.
to happen. One of the
Yeah.
things I'm known as is the conference catalyst, because when I'm the opening speaker, it's going to change the way people behave. But I
Right.
also like what you call yourself. So tell everybody what that is.
Oh, the conference kickoff keynote speaker. And it's about really activating your impact as an individual at the conference and building. I help build confidence in the attendees just to connect with others. And I do it in a very similar way, um, in the big picture, that you and I both do a really good job of helping people in a fun and safe way connect with each other, right? Because it's facilitated. We build up to it. It's not, we don't force somebody to talk to somebody in the first minute they walk in the room. That would be that would make everybody uncomfortable. But through your storytelling, through music that I use, through the comedy and breaking down that wall, it brings people out of their shell, and and it's great. So yes, as a conference kickoff speaker, as a facilitator of evening entertainment and breakout sessions and closing keynotes, which you have nailed in the past. When I hear the reviews, the rave reviews that you get, yeah, I think that I would recommend that this is a consideration that every association professional implements, is that there must be the connection piece, not only from the first moment, but revisited throughout the day and revisited throughout the 2 days or the 3 days or the 5 days. And I don't think it matters if it's a 30,000 boat and RV show, or 30 people coming together for um, because they're a virtual team, right? Folks still need help um, to navigate that awkward first encounter.
Well, and so some people would say, why are the two of you making a video together? Because clearly you compete for the same conferences. Who in their right mind
Not a
would
chance.
do a video promoting alongside somebody who could take business from them? But here's the thing. My motto, and I know you agree with
Yeah.
this, is community, collaboration, and conversations can solve all problems. So one of the reasons I liked this idea of you and I making this video together to really talk to meeting professionals about why weaving in this whole idea of connection and having a professional do it, not just, the CEO of the association going, talk to your neighbor.
Yeah.
That doesn't do it. Nobody
It
wants to
doesn't.
talk to a
No,
stranger because the
yeah.
CEO told them
Yeah.
to. But having a professional who can weave it in to really set the tone for a culture of connection at a conference.
Hmm.
My thought was the more people who are out there talking about it, the
Hmm.
more chances that people are looking to hire someone like you, someone like me. So I invite everyone who talks on this
Absolutely.
topic, don't be selfish. Don't be like, I'm the only one. Find other people who do this
Yeah.
and get out there and share the message that a conference is better when there is somebody who is, kicking it off with connection or being that catalyst.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, there for me there is no sort of competition here. I presented in September to a group of 30 speakers. So I was coaching audience engagement to speakers here in Nashville, and I was teaching them ways to help engage the audience and to help the audience connect with each other. Right? So I want more people to feel confident. I want more people to enjoy gatherings. I want more people to feel successful in their own skin, right? So the more like if I could multiply you and have 15 of you all over Texas, all over the country, let's get 30 of you. Like, yes, there's no limit to the power of the numbers. And hopefully, if you're watching this and you're interested in this, in the research and how to facilitate in a really fun way that really honors probably the most introverted person in the room, right? We're really, I think you and I are both very sensitive about that, right? We're not forcing folks into uncomfortable situations. We're inviting them into connection opportunities. And no, just touching again to your competitive thing. I, as a musician, I live in Nashville, right? Like 7 of my neighbors are on tour when I'm on tour, right? It's like, so, and we all are happy for each other that we're able to, it's in the service of the community. It's in the service of the audience, right? I've always said that when you're in a band or when you're on stage, you're not there for yourself at all. You are the stage wasn't built for you, right? The stage was built for the audience, right? If the minute you step off stage, you're still the same guy you were on stage, but the experience for the audience is so much greater because you're in that position to help them and
God,
move
I
their
love
move the,
that.
move,
The
move their day.
stage,
Yeah,
I love that part. The stage was built for the audience. I think that's the
absolutely.
message
Yeah, yeah.
for every single meeting planner who's planning an event is to remember that everyone that you put on stage, they have to be there to serve that audience. And so the other thing about the competition piece is I think in most industries, collaboration is 2025, 2026,
Oh, absolutely.
2027. Competition, it's so yesterday.
Yeah.
If you're talking to any vendor who like puts down their competitor or pretends they don't have competitors, I tell all of my clients, I got a lot of other speakers I can introduce you to.
Absolutely.
And I tell them that before they even hire me, because if I'm not the right fit to be put on that stage, I want to make sure they get the best person they can. So I think we need to see more collaborations like you and I are doing right now.
Absolutely. I think the smartest thing for someone to do is bring us both in together and we'll just tag team. And actually, we would probably have too much fun together and maybe leave the conference entirely and go see a Cirque du Soleil show together. Who knows? I'm just kidding.
Well, I definitely tell you that would be probably too much connection for the average person if we were both
Right,
there
I know.
together. But Jason, this was a lot of fun. I'm going to give you the last word.
Oh, the last word. Thanks for being awesome, and I just had a wonderful weekend with you. And to all of you folks out there, remember connection before content. Anything that either Thom and I can do to help you, even on a strategy call on a Zoom, don't hesitate to reach out to us. I know that Thom has thousands of ideas, and I've got 999. So talk to you soon.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks,
Yeah,
everybody.
see you later, Thom.